happened about 5 years ago, during one of those quiet summer weekends where everything feels just a little too calm to be real. I was 27 back then, and fishing was my escape. No phone, no noise, just me, the water, and the wind brushing through the trees. There's this lake about an hour outside of town called Black Hollow Lake. The locals always said it was cursed, whispered stories about people who went missing there. But I never bought into that stuff. To me, it was just peaceful. The perfect spot. That Saturday, I packed my old gear, grabbed some snacks, and headed out before the sun was even up. The fog was so thick when I arrived, you could barely see the other side of the lake. The air smelled of wet soil and pine, and it was so quiet, it felt like the whole world was holding its breath. I set up my rod, tossed the line out, and just waited. For hours, absolutely nothing. No fish, no movement, just complete silence. Then, around noon, I noticed it was something strange. The water near the center of the lake started rippling, as if something big was moving right underneath the surface. My first thought was maybe a big catfish or a drifting log, but the ripples kept coming, slow and deliberate, almost like the lake itself was breathing. I laughed nervously to myself, thinking, all right, maybe today's my lucky day after all. So I cast my line closer to that spot. The instant my bait hit the water, the line went tight. So tight it nearly snapped my rod in half. I yanked back hard, but whatever was on the other end was unbelievably strong. It wasn't thrashing around like a fish. It was just pulling, slowly, steadily, almost like it was reeling me in. After a few terrifying seconds, the line suddenly went slack. I figured it got away, but when I reeled it in, I froze. It wasn't a fish. It was a hand, a pale, bloated human hand, tangled up in my hook. I dropped the rod, stumbling backward, nearly falling into the water myself. My brain just refused to process what I was seeing. But it was real. The hand was a sickening grayish white, with fingernails half missing, and bits of skin were slipping off like wet paper. I scrambled back to my truck to call the police, but of course my phone had no signal. Black Hollow was a notorious dead zone. I debated just getting in my truck and leaving right then and there. But my curiosity, my stupid curiosity got the better of me. I grabbed a flashlight and walked over to the small wooden pier at the edge of the lake. And that's when I noticed them. Footprints, bare feet, leading from the water and into the woods. They were wet, fresh, and spaced strangely apart, as if whoever made them was dragging something heavy behind them. I should have left. I know I should have. But instead, I followed them. The trail led me deep into the trees, where everything started to smell like rot. The air felt heavy, thick, and just wrong. The deeper I went, the quieter it got, until even the insects stopped making any sound. And then I saw it. A small, half-collapsed fishing cabin I'd never, ever noticed before. The door was hanging off its hinges. Inside, everything was covered in a thick layer of dust, except for the floor. The floor had clear drag marks, like something heavy had been pulled inside very recently. On the far wall, dozens of photos were pinned up, photos of people fishing by the lake. Some were smiling, others were clearly unaware they were being watched. And in the corner, half hidden behind an old tangled net, there was a mirror. But when I looked into it, I didn't see my own reflection. I saw the lake, and something was moving just beneath the surface. Something pale, human-shaped, and it was staring right back at me through the reflection. I stumbled back, knocking the mirror off the wall. It shattered into 1,000 pieces, and in that same instant, I heard it, footsteps, outside the cabin. Slow, wet, heavy. I ducked under the window and peeked out. There was someone, or something, standing by the trees. It was tall, dripping wet, its gray skin shining under the weak sunlight. It tilted its head, as if it was listening for me. And then it spoke, in a voice that sounded like bubbles bursting underwater. "You took my hand." I ran. I didn't look back. I just sprinted through the woods, straight to my truck, tripping over roots and stones. When I finally reached the road, I jumped in, locked the doors, and frantically tried to start the engine. But for one heart-stopping moment, it wouldn't turn over. I looked up, and there it was, standing at the edge of the trees, just watching me. Holding out its other hand, the engine finally roared to life, and I floored it, speeding away until I couldn't even see the lake in my rearview mirror anymore. When I got home, I told the police everything. They searched the area the next morning, but they found nothing. No hand, no footprints, no cabin. Just my broken fishing rod lying by the water. They said I probably saw a dead animal, or just some debris in the water, but I know what I saw. 2 months later, another fisherman went missing at Black Hollow Lake. They never found his body, but the weirdest part, the part that keeps me up at night, when they searched his boat, they found a photograph, a picture of me, standing by the water from that same day. And I swear, if you look closely behind me in the reflection of the lake, there's a pale figure smiling,